Folks, Big Papa Smirk here with Justin Barlow making his triumphant return this week with the PPW 120 results.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we want to thank everyone who comes out each and every week. That's right, we're here every single Saturday night for your viewing pleasure.
You are appreciated a lot more than you even know.
Way more than you folks know. You are the heart and soul of this company. But PPW 120, Rand, we kept rolling with that Challenge Pro World Cup.
This bad boy here, in which makes emotions run high, and each and every guy in that talent roster has to work twice as hard because every match is 2 out of 3 falls.
Right. The opening contest, though, wasn't part of the tournament. We saw 0-1 take on Texas Pete.
An improving 0-1, and I'm sure Justin will elaborate.
Exactly. 0-1 training night and day. Gets up at the crack of dawn, goes out, does that Tai Chi, meditates under waterfalls, whatever he does.
Naked on sacred ground.
That one I didn't hear, but if you say so, I'll take it as gospel. But Texas Pete, you know, he's been talking about how much he deserves to be at the top of this company, but that chip on his shoulder keeps growing and growing and growing, and tonight it only got bigger because 0-1 pulled one out of the hat. He's able to roll Texas Pete up 1-2-3 and walk away with the win.
I like to call it an upset, but I'm not going to really call it an upset because the bottom line is 0-1 is working harder, and Texas Pete thinks somehow one way or the other he's entitled to something. That's the beauty about PPW. You don't just walk in because you own the company and put the belt on. Jack, you got to earn it.
Exactly. And he took his eye off the ball for a split second, and it cost him. All that veteran instinct, that little split second, cost him the entire night. But then we got right in to our bracket matches, our second round bracket matches for the Challenge Pro Cup. First up, it was Ronnie Metro taking on Ulysses S. Adams. Ronnie went into this one with 2 points, USA at 0.
A goose egg, which was surprising.
It was. USA's been very dominant since he's not undefeated, but dominant.
But one thing I've got to say about Ronnie Metro is coming along. He's not just some freak show or sideshow act. He ain't no two-headed garter snake. This guy has proved that he can wrestle. He's resourceful. Look at his body. The guy obviously trains hard, works out hard, and he's been a tough opponent. He proved it tonight.
And he's one of the 6 guys that PPW sent down to Florida for an official WWE tryout, and they had no criticism of his in-ring ability.
You take off the wig, you undo the skirt, and you wipe that makeup off his face, and you've got one of the hardest working guys in the industry today, in the whole of the industry today.
Yeah, and he proved it here again tonight because he bumped off USA in the second round. He got the first fall by doing that splash off the top rope.
Out of nowhere. Ulysses S. Adams is kind of beating him pillar to post. There's a size difference there. But then all of a sudden, Ronnie pulls this quick thing out of his butt. Boom! Drops Ulysses S. Adams right head first into the turnbuckle. The guy goes down, and I didn't even know before we all knew it. Here's Ronnie Metro almost coming from the top of the building. Boom! To win the first fall.
And it's like he hung there, too.
Yeah.
The airtime he gets on that splash.
He's an athlete. He may be a freak. He may be from the land of fruits and nuts, but there's undeniable proof of the athleticism of Ronnie Metro.
Yeah, but you know what? Ronnie had no time to celebrate. Ulysses gets right back into it, rolls him up 1-2-3.
With a beautiful victory roll executed by a man that's 6'5" and 280 pounds.
It was impressive. A guy that size being that agile ties the score at 1 fall apiece. It goes to the third and final fall.
And let me tell you something. This is when it gets good. This is when it gets good, and the energy in here is unbelievable because now the stakes are even higher than just your standard match because this thing is on the line and they've got to go another fall.
Exactly. But what happens? Ronnie Metro sneaking in. Ulysses goes over for a sunset flip, goes over the top rope. Ronnie manages to sit across his shoulders, and while the ref is counting USA's shoulders down.
And it wasn't just your regular sneaky sneak either. He's on top of him. 1, 2, 2.5. Make sure the ref isn't looking. He holds it down for that extra security and gets the win.
Yep.
Ronnie Metro, 4 points. Ulysses S. Adams is still at a goose egg.
And with that win, Ronnie bumped himself up to his bracket. I believe
He's
it's bracket.
Elevated. He's definitely
bracket
elevated.
B. He's the king of bracket B now.
Yeah.
After that, we saw Matt Vine and Iniestra, and what a match that was.
Unbelievable. These two guys have been working so hard at the facility every week training, okay? They work out together. They work out separately. They're so supportive of each other. Then they get into the ring, and they're supportive of each other in there, and they keep playing this, can you top this? And it just gets better and better and better. And tonight was no different. The first ball went to Inestra.
The first ball went to Iniestra.
The first ball went to Inestra when he went and he gave Matt Vine the shoulder between the ropes. He jumped over what we thought was going to end up being a sunset flip, but it wasn't. Somehow he turned it into a sunset bomb, which he's renamed the Inestra bomb. And I have to say, I think it's better than Petey Williams' whatever the hell.
The Canadian Destroyer. And that's saying a lot.
Unbelievable. It's like a Mexican destroyer. Matt Vine. Now, he's been talking about this for a while. I know that you know the second fall. They don't know the second fall. What you don't know about the second fall, which was won by Matt Vine. Vine's been working hard to innovate. This guy is always thinking out, and it's been nice to see him mature as a person, but as a professional wrestler. Hence why he's at the top of the chain right now, the food chain with the PPW belt. And Esther went for some high-flying move. Matt Vine comes charging in at him, gets the boots to the face, and Esther off the top rope right into what Vine calls the Vine Buster. Boom! That's it, 2 falls, and now the drama. The real drama begins and the real work starts.
And now the Premier Planet, their hearts are up here because they adore these two guys. They want to see which one of these guys is going to walk out with the points.
Adore is not a strong enough word. I mean, I know it's a strong enough word, but you know me. I'm 1/3 Italian. We like to oversell crap. The place was coming unglued.
Exactly.
As we go into the third and final fall.
Yeah, but what happens? These guys are fighting, how do you say, pillar to post.
Pillar to post, post to pillar, tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and then one way, shape, or form, right in the middle of a gorgeous high spot, I don't even know what to call it, Inestra nails Vine with a crossbody, and both carcasses go over the top rope, splat to the concrete floor. Bottom line is the referee counted at 10. Where were the other two? Where were Vine and Inestra?
They were on the floor, and we had a pickle on our hands.
Because they're flat on their backs. So technically, this matchup is a draw. And talk about pickles.
Yeah, and so what do we do with that? Well, you came out to address that situation, decided that since both these guys put on one hell of a matchup.
And they worked hard, Texas Pete. Take note. Maybe someday if you work as hard as Inestra and Matt Vine, you might get what's coming to you. Life don't hand you nothing. Life don't owe you nothing, like Rocky Balboa says. You got to work for it. They work for it. It'd be a damn shame to throw that one out. They get a point apiece. That's right. The win would have been 2. Let's call this a draw. Point apiece, and they're still in the tournament for this cup.
And they're still on the board. And following that, Chase Gosling and a human video game, Scott Colton.
Unbelievable matchup. And like you said, there's history there beyond history. Last year at this time, Chase Gosling couldn't stop talking about Colton's mama. Do you remember that? Whenever you bring mamas into it, it's on. Games are over. It is on, especially if you're as tight with your mama and you're almost a mama's boy like the human video game Scott Colton. So don't think this was just your run-of-the-mill match. First, you got that past history. You got Chase Gosling and a sneaky sneak. Thinking he's master of the mind game, the master of the mustache ride, the hunk with the tree trunks. He got a little junk in the trunk. Now we got this on the line. 2 out of 3 falls. Negro, please.
Yeah, but you know what? Colton, kind of going into Chase's book, playing a few mind games with him, catches him off guard a couple times, stands and even kind of poses at him, saying, bring it on, bring it on. What do you got? What do you got?
No fear. It would take a tank or a rocket launcher, I think sometimes, to keep Scott Colton down.
In fact, what did Chase have to do to earn the first fall? He had to put his feet on the ropes for added leverage to get the 1, 2, 3.
He didn't just put his feet on the ropes. In typical Gosling fashion, at his size, at his height and weight, he ends up getting the jackknife pinfall on Colton, and for good measure, he's able to get those tootsies over the rope, and there's no way in God's green earth the referee could have seen it. It's almost like this guy's got some sort of program at home that he designs ways to cheat.
It's like Chase Gosling's cheat yoga or something that he does.
He's resourceful, though. You weren't here last week, and he got 2 clean finishes in his matchup. So it throws everybody off because they don't know what to expect from this guy going into it. The other thing I want to say, and then I'll leave the floor to you again on it. Every time I see these guys go out there, They've got something new. There's a new moveset. You can't even set your watch and call anything signature because it's all signature. And it keeps coming. And the innovation, level of innovation, even on Gosling's part, as much of a you-know-whatter as he is, outstanding matchup, great competition.
Yeah, but what happened in the second fall? Colton goes up where he is comfortable in his element, springs off the top rope, beautiful 450 right across Chase's chest, 1, 2, 3.
Knocks the wind out of Gosling, but also himself.
Out of himself. He hit that hard. You can see him actually gasping in the ring, but now that we're at the third fall, next fall is going to win it. And this one, I mean, Colton's flying around the ring. Chase at one point has him in that Saturday Night Special. Looks like Colton might tap out. He's able to get the elbows into the bicep.
Don't forget, this time he gave him that mustache ride power bomb. It's usually from here. He fully extended. Colton must have been 7.5 feet in the air, dropped right in the middle of that ring, kicks out at 2.99, much to the delight of the fans. Gosling hooks him into the, what is it again?
I think he calls it the Saturday Night Special, if I'm not mistaken.
God bless that kid, because not only me, but everybody in attendance thought that kid was going to be in traction after the abuse his back took.
Yeah, but you know what, Colton, he gets those elbows, those pointy elbows, right into Chase's bicep, right onto that nerve. Chase is forced to break the hold, and these guys, they spill to the outside. They both get back on the apron.
They both get back on the apron at about the count of 3. Now it's on. Now it's on. It's a slugfest, and they keep tugging each other back. Who's going to get in that ring before the referee counts to 10? Just as Colton's ready to get into the ring, here's the corner. Here's Colton. Here's Gosling. Gosling gives him a fully extended backdrop over the post. No apron, straight to the floor after the punishment his back took. Chase climbs in at 9.5. Who's your winner?
We got Chase Gosling, the winner, and when Colton hit the outside, when he hit the floor, it sounded like a melon hitting pavement. It was just this sickening thud. No way he was going to get up from that. So Chase Gosling moves up to the top of his bracket with 4 points. Scott Colton sits pretty at 2.
But in the same token, it wasn't long before Matt Vine came out and dusted off his buddy Colton. Your old man hit the Scott Colton music, and who was back up on his feet?
Colton.
That's
he never
right.
Stays
to
down.
the delight of these fans.
Exactly. As many times, if Colton loses, he's not going to stay down. He's going to get right back up. Matt Vine coming out, helping him to the back. Scott Colton's music plays, and the fans always appreciative of the human video.
Now, here's the thing. The fans aren't aware of it at the time. Matt Vine was aware of it at the time. When Scott Colton lost that matchup, that automatically makes this week Matt Vine facing Scott Colton for the cup. 2 out of 3 falls. It's just amazing to me to see that kind of sportsmanship being appreciated like it is in 2016.
And that is one you're going to want to see this Saturday night.
I want to see it, for God's sake.
And following that, what we had? We had Irish Andy Anderson, who's going in with 2 points, taking on the corn-fed Colossus, Michael Mack.
Yes,
the new and
did.
Improved corn-fed Colossus.
Irish Andy Anderson, dumb like a fox. Irish Andy Anderson facing a real immovable object almost.
Oh, yeah, but Andy, just mind games. Ronnie's got to be training him in some of this stuff because Andy's always been eccentric, but now it's like he's kicked it up to 11.
Andy has always been dumb like a fox, and Andy has always been probably the best pound-for-pound brawler that PPW's ever seen. He's always got that going for him. I don't care if he's coming out with Ronnie. I don't care if he's wearing a pink wig. That man is going to hurt someone each and every time he comes out there. So even though Mac had the size advantage, and probably not by much when everything's said and done, Andy Anderson, dumb like a fox, brought that brawling ability with him and a viciousness that aren't in a whole hell of a lot of people out there.
And Andy really controlled this matchup. He had Mac down on the mat probably 9 out of 10 times.
You, me, the bell ringer, the referee, the people in attendance at the taping, they all thought that Andy was going to be out of that thing right in the beginning of the matchup because it really was a pillar-to-post beating. Michael Mack possessed the power. He took Andy and threw him around like he would throw around one of the zeros in the beginning of that matchup. But then, like you said, out of nowhere, here comes Andy Anderson, sneaky sneakerson, dumb like a fox, cuts him off. as Mac is chasing him to go to get in the ring, lifts the middle rope as he's getting in, and what happened? Oh, right in the mommy-daddy buttons, and that's going to take down anybody. I don't care how big you are.
Yeah, but then Andy, I'm guessing he got a little overconfident. He goes in for, I believe it was a stomp. Either way, he low blows Michael Mack.
This is what you haven't been aware of because you haven't been here for a couple weeks. Irish Andy Anderson loves to grab them legs, and he loves to wishbone them. And then what he does is he drops that head right into the family jewels. Tonight, the referee was told to watch that, and if he hits him below the belt, ring the bell, there will be no leniency because it just ain't cute anymore. And I think that's how he won the last 2 weeks and gained them points. So, that being said, Andy Anderson was warned, and he was warned, and he was warned again, and then what?
And then referee, not pulling any punches, calls for the bell, disqualification, and Michael Mack gets the first fall. And pretty quickly after that, Andy is arguing with the referee.
Michael Mack capitalizes and rolls him up 1, 2, 3. Fans, this week, what can we expect? Let's get down to business. We ain't got no time to play around. What is this?
This week, as we said before, it's going to be Matt Vine, the PPW World Heavyweight Champion, against the human video game and former PPW World Heavyweight Champion Scott Colton in a tournament match, 2 out of 3 falls.
Who's next?
And then we have Irish Andy Anderson taking on...
This is going to be the match. This is going to be worth the price of admission because finally you got Ronnie Metro facing Irish Andy Anderson. Scummy versus scummier, and I don't know which one's which. They've got to go at it. And if for 1 second they think they're going to go out there and pull any skullduggery, I'll lay down for you, buddy. No, I'll lay down for you, girlfriend. Girlfriend, this match is going to be to the pinfalls. You will follow direction and abide by the same rules as everybody else, or you're both eliminated. How's that taste?
And then we've got the corn-fed Colossus, Michael Mack, who's finally on the board with some points, taking on USA Ulysses S. Adams, who has yet to get on the board.
Big Mac, Mad Mac, facing, it's like, what is that again? The irresistible force faces the immovable object. 2 of the biggest guys on the roster, 2 of the biggest guys in pro wrestling today. They go at it in a down, home, old school wrestling match. 2 out of 3 falls. I'm looking forward to it.
And you're not going to want to miss a single second of it. We are here every single Saturday night.
Did you mention Esther versus Chase?
I didn't. Thank you for reminding me.
See? The old boy still got a few freaking screws left.
Iniestra and Chase.
I've been taking fish oil.
Oh, these guys are going to tear down the house. You are going to want to see all of these matches. And at the end of this month, somebody's walking home with this Challenge Pro Cup.
We'll see you Saturday night for this bad boy. Right on!